Hello everyone, we're going to have a quick walk around our new Scania 560S. Picked it up last week. It's brand new, as you can see. It looks exactly the same as the Scanias that we picked up last year. The only difference with this one is it's got the super engine, still a 13 litre engine, supposed to be better on fuel, but time will tell. So again, looks wise, it looks exactly the same. The only extras we put on this truck was on the front of it, the dirt deflectors. We got these on. We put a bar on the top with some spots, evergreen fields, light board on the top. That was all kind of extra. Everything on the truck is color coded white. If you don't know by now, I like white trucks, very simple. Extra work lamps, so we got extra work lamps. This was an extra that we added on to the truck. We've got them on the back of the cab, and we've got them on the back of the chassis as well. I can't remember if we spec'd it with super singles on the mid-lift or not, but I don't think we did. I think they automatically come with super singles. Also, we've got the economy tyres that come on them from the factory now, so again, supposed to be better on fuel. We'll test that theory out. Because we do a lot of farm work, tyres with us just don't last as long because we're kind of getting grip, not getting grip. Yards can be mucky and dirty, so we'll see. Hopefully they work out pretty well. So we converted, this was a diesel tank, so we got this converted into a hydraulic tank. Twin line hoses. It's not twin line tipping gear that we put on the truck, but we need the second hose because the vacuum tankers we run need a return pipe to keep the oil flowing basically. Again, we spec'd it with alloy wheels. There is a weight saving for your payload, but also alloy wheels look very sexy, so that's probably the main point. Got a nice set of plates on for Artie, I think he's happy about those. Again, side skirts on the truck, they come standard. Again, it just finishes off the look of the truck. I suppose another spec on the truck that I just forgot to say there was the whole truck is on air from front to back. Scania spec the cab on air. We put the front axle on air as well. The main reason that we like the front axle on air, again going back to the work we do with the farmyards, the trucks are reasonably low, so when we have the airbags on the front of the truck, we can basically lift the truck up. We can go through that. I can lift the truck up at least another 8 inches, gives us extra clearance going into farmyards. So we'll head inside and I'll go through some of the new dash and electrics on the inside. I'm not going to lie, it's still new to me. The new Scanias that we picked up last year are still new to me, but as I was saying, the main difference with these, the inside of these trucks, which to me is the main difference really, is the dash. It's all electronic. There's a lot less buttons inside, and we also have our flat screen here. So everything is controlled on this screen here, really. There's 6 main controls here. Every setting that you go into, it tells you what everything is. So it looks complicated, it's not. When I picked up the truck, the guys were going through it with me and I was like, how am I going to remember this? But brought the truck home, sat in the truck for an hour, went through it, got up the next morning because I had the truck at home with me, got to the yard and I sat in the truck again for another hour. I figured everything out. The one thing I couldn't figure out, and I had to ring Kevin and ask him, how do you dim the lights on the dash, because my eyes kill me at night. So there's a big button here under the dash that basically dims the lights that I couldn't see after sitting in the truck for so long. But anyways, the main control that we'll be using on the screen is the tipping gear switch that you have to flick on before you can use the lever down at my right hand side. Other than that, you've got the trailer control as well for your lift axle, so you can literally lift the lift axle or lower the lift axle on your trailer from the inside of your cab. Obviously it has to be a fairly new trailer that has your EBS and your ABS and whatnot. Other than that, you have your height adjustment. Now we do have the handheld controller all the time. This hasn't changed. In the trucks last year you had buttons on the right hand side of the console here that you could lift up and down the truck. They're gone on this model. As I said, it's on the screen here, but you can still control it with your remote control here. So that's fairly easy to use. Back to your screen again, on your home screen you have your GPS maps. You can connect your phone and you can configure that whatever way you want. You can have the map on the small screen, on the big screen, and your phone, etc, etc. We'll move on to the next application. So on here you basically have your camera, climate, internal lighting, media, navigation, phone and settings. What you'll see as we go through, they all kind of have their own section anyways. So camera, we have the rear camera on this truck. That's actually a new feature on this truck. Yeah, your reversing camera, handy picking a trailer or handy backing in someplace. You have your camera, you have your climate control, you can control the temperature, your fan speed again, and then you can control where the heat blows. Then you have your parking climate. So when you're parking up at night, you can set your night heater, as we call it, to come on to keep your truck warm at night. And then you have your timer. Your internal lighting, you can set that to whatever way you want. You can have it on full, halfway, whichever way it needs to be. You can control it there with a touch of a finger. It is very straightforward. Your media, so if you connect your phone, your radio's in there as well. A load of different stations, you can connect up your phone. Play your music through that. Your navigation, so you can click on navigation and then you have the full big screen. But I suppose the lads that are probably in the truck all the time will be using it more and more. I just never really used a sat nav. I don't know why, but the first job I had driving, I had a map, you know, and I would physically look at the routes and I'd write down the main townlands that I'd have to go through, and that's what I used to do. But I did have a sat nav as well, but that's a few years ago now. Obviously technology is just unreal now, to be fair. It's savage. I mean, the truck almost drives itself now. So okay, so that's navigation. Probably have everyone confused with that, but anyways, next one is your phone, which again, I actually disconnected my phone for this video because my phone was ringing and it was just messing around. But your phone connects up, you have your keypad, you have your contacts, everything is there. And then your settings, which is the last setting, is your sound, your language, your date and time, and your connectivity, your Bluetooth, your devices, add a device, reset network. There is a couple of buttons left on the dash. Is your home screen, where it brings you back into this, what you're seeing now. You can control the temperature here as well. You can see it going up and down here. You have your night heater here. You have your max window cleaner. You have your heat setting. That's your night heater again. This is for the lights in your cab on the inside, and this is your volume and on and off. The dash again, as you can see, is electric. I'm opening windows here. It's all electronic. And again, you have your basic stuff in here. Your speed, your revs, two little black gadgets on the side of the skirts on the left and right. Is your lane assists when you're driving. The truck is monitoring what's to the left and right here. As well as that, we get a shot of what's on the front windscreen here. Is your safety feature as well, monitoring what's in front of you. Those are the main kind of safety features on the truck, which help the driver with safety. Your steering wheel functions are the same as the trucks last year. Everything is controlled. You can scroll through the dash. One cool setting on this is actually the tyre pressure, so it monitors the tyres. Don't think that was on the trucks last year. I think that's something that comes, or did I ask that? I'm not quite sure, but monitoring the tyres is a big thing for us. It's probably not so much for guys at other work, but with farm work with us, tyre pressures is massive, because the inside tyre on the drive axle is something that if there's a slow puncture it's hard to tell, because the outside tyre is kind of keeping it up unless you're heavily loaded. So it's good to be able to monitor the tyres. If you can keep your tyre pressure correct, it's going to save you tyres, it's going to save you money. You have your load status on the truck as well, monitoring your load. You can bring up your level adjustment, what we went through earlier with the height of your truck, the front axle and rear axle. I'm just scrolling through a few different things here. So a lot of what's on this screen here is taken off this screen here, so they are interlinked, and you can set up the dash whatever way you want or what you want to be looking at, how big or small you want it. Your steering wheel is still up and down on air through your button here. Other than that, you've got your nice sexy black leather seats here again. We've got our armrests, seat fully on air, heated seats, cool seats. Storage in the truck. We've got some small storage behind the passenger seat here. There's a couple of shelves, and we've our shelf, big long shelf up over the passenger door. It's the exact same on the driver's side. We've our coffee maker up here. In our next drawer, we have our microwave oven, which is very handy, and then we have a spare drawer up over the driver's head for more storage. And we've got some little storage just up here as well, some small little compartments. You wouldn't put a lot in them, but they are handy. We've got our big drawer storage here. Put whatever you want in it. I presume some dry foods would go in here. And then our fridge. We've got our docket storage here. Again, a lot of our dockets are handheld. It's all done through your phone and your app now. So again, this drawer could be used for extra storage for the driver, because we do have a little pocket up here for dockets as well. Other than that, we have our little dining table, or again it could be a table just used to pop your iPad on it or whatever, if you're reading a book, whatever takes your fancy. Your bunk bed up here, so Artie will be just using behind that for a bit of storage. So our night heater again is controlled in here. You can obviously turn on your radio in here as well, and you have your different volumes, so you can control what's happening on the dash of your truck. You can control in here when you're lying in the bed. One of the new extras I put on the new trucks, I put them on the trucks last year as well, is the dirt deflectors. I suppose two reasons really I like them. Is the first reason is I think it makes the truck look beefier at the front, and also it helps to deflect the dirt. Instead of it running down the sides of the doors, it kind of brushes it off. It helps. It doesn't stop it, but it does help. So that's why I have these babies on. Another nice feature on the Scanias is the extra toolbox. So I'll just open them up and just run through it with you. So the top toolbox door just opens with the little tab here. Basically just pull that, it pops open. Again, going back to storage, there's loads of storage in these lockers. They're extremely deep. And the little toolbox door here, which I love, for me especially, it opens with the little clip on the side here. Still a bit sticky from being new. I love this because, as you can see, Artie's got his gloves in here, so if you do have kind of gloves or any dirty rags or stuff like that, you can keep them in here, and the smell of them won't go through to the cab. So a feature on the Scanias is your auto greaser. So basically it does what it says in the tin, keep that filled with grease, and it keeps your truck, keeps all the grease points on the truck greased. So as I was saying earlier, you can control the suspension from the touch screen in on the cab, but you still have your old school remote. So the front axle, this should go up.